What up? And welcome back to my channel. So welcome back. I'm making some homemade chili today. Okay. I had a recipe. It's been a while since I made one. Whenever it's been a while since I made some, I just think it's time for an updated recipe. So here we are. So first off, I cut up my onion. Okay. Cutting up a yellow onion, sweet onion, whichever one you want to call it. It ain't red. Okay. So I'm cutting that up. And I put that to the side. I didn't really dice it, but I cut it small. I cut them really small. So I did the same thing with the green pepper. Wash it off. Make sure you wash your veggies because that's important. You got to wash your veg, okay? You got to. The people just be touching all over stuff. The stores is nasty, okay? I can't wait to have my own garden so I can grow my own veggies. But until then, just wash your stuff thoroughly, okay? Just thoroughly. So I just cut that in. I just diced that up too. Just real kind of small. It's kind of small as possible. Because you don't want no really big chunks in your chili. You kind of got to think about this on a logical level when it comes to making stuff. So I just think, when it comes to chili, you want your veggie. You want your veggies small. You don't want them big, thick veggies. So I just went ahead and put some butter in my big little pot here. I said big little pot. In my big pot. And, got a little saute on the veggies. I just kind of cooked them as long as, basically, I just cook them down. Just cook them down until they kind of basically translucent. And then I added the ground beef. I'm using 2 pounds. 2 pounds of ground beef. Okay, I'm doing something different because like I always say, I always do something different that I didn't do the first time. Or just something differently every time I do it. Like, it's always something... I always want to add something new or something different in all my recipes. So my first time doing chili, I added smoked sausage. So this time I didn't use smoked sausage and I used more beans. So I used 2 pounds of meat and I did 3 cans of beans. So we going to get into that because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the whole little setup of cans I got on the side on me, on the left of me right there. I'm going to show you the cans I'm going to be using, the tomatoes, because I'm just doing tomato paste and diced tomatoes. But I'm going to still show you, So at this point, just mash your meat up and drain it, okay? Get your meat brown and make sure you drain it. Put it back in the pot, okay? Now, I did dice up some garlic in my vegetable chopper. I did, chopped up some garlic because I need that. Now, these are all the cans. I got the tomato paste, the diced tomatoes, the kidney beans, the chili mild beans, and the black beans, okay? It's the first time I use original chili seasoning. I never used chili seasoning before. This is the first time I did that. The next time I might do 2 packets maybe, or maybe try the hot chili one because the Aldi did have a hot chili and I might try that. So then I put in my tomato paste first. I put in all the whole packet of mild chili seasoning, and then the whole thing of tomato paste. I put that whole thing in there too and stirred it up, and then I added the whole can of everything. I'm just adding the whole can of, okay? I'm using the whole can of everything I got. Okay, whole can of tomatoes, stirred that up, and then all the beans, every bean. Now, personally, I like beans. I know they make you fart. I know they make you gassy. That's fine. You got to be going anyway. You need to be going regularly. You need to be farting. It's fine. You don't need to be farting, but you get what I'm saying, man. Maybe I don't know what I'm saying, but either way, I like beans. So I added 3 cans of beans in this, okay? And then I stirred it up. Now, at this point, most people use vegetable broth, beef broth, different broths, I'm not going to be using no broth. I'm going to just put some water in it. And, at this point, since the meat brown and we got everything that we want in this, like this is basically the chili, after we stir it up real good and add the water, we just going to be simmering it until it gets thick. So I added about maybe a cup, I'll say 2 cups of water, but eyeball it I did this in a big pot though. I did this in a bigger pot. So I basically just added enough water to kind of just basically liquefy everything, not submerge it completely, but to just, if you want to submerge it, you can, but the simmering process is going to take a little longer. So I just got this on like a medium heat, it was on like a medium high at first. Well, okay, I started on a medium high. just to get just to get it kind of going, just to get the boil going. So, and then I turned it down to a medium heat and then just let it thicken up with the top on. So I seasoned it with all these. I'm gonna have all the seasonings, the other seasonings I added at the bottom. I didn't add too much because the chili seasoning was a lot of flavor in itself. So I didn't have to add too many seasonings. So that was good. So I still have everything at the bottom that I use in this particular dish. So you don't have to fret too much, my pet. Okay. So like I said, just stir it up. Okay, it's gonna be real liquidy. We don't want that. Okay, you gotta let it cook for a little bit. I wanna get it to a boil. So at this point, just turn it down a little bit. It ain't not too high. Okay, at like a medium heat. We just basically want to get this to a boil at this point. So I just put the top on it and let it, just let it kind of thicken up and do its thing. Okay, just medium-ish. Don't put it on high. Okay. So at this point, just let it thicken up. Just let your chili thicken up, and it will. Just trust the process. After you put the top on it, you just got to trust the process. You can let it really slow cook for like an hour or two if you want, Just check. Make sure you're checking it. You just going every 30 minutes or so. Just go back and like stir it up and see where your thickness is. And then it should be right. Just make sure it's right and thick. Because either way, it's going to thicken up. By the time that you refrigerate it for the next day, it's going to be thick anyway. So the longer you let it sit after it thickens up anyway, it will thicken up even more. So even if it's liquidy, as long as you got it heated up, because we just wanted to heat these beans up, make it become one. This is a meal together. It needs to become one. It needs to taste, you need to taste all these flavors because everything got individual flavor, but you need to taste it. Okay? Make sure you taste it. Make sure it's right. Make sure you get them seasonings right. Taste as you go. I always say that, and make sure it's right. This is the tasting point. This is the making sure the seasoning is right as it's thickening up, as I kept checking on it. Just make sure it's right. Taste it. Taste it. I emphasize that, okay? Make sure you taste it before you serve it to anybody else. We're not doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't serving nothing nasty or nothing that we ain't tasted ourselves, okay? It's all about the flavors, and we got to make sure they there. Okay. So this was easy peasy. I paired it with some white rice because I love chili with white rice on the bottom. I need that. You see it. I love the white rice. Then I had some cheddar jack cheese, a shredded cheese. It's cheddar jack. I sprinkled some of that on the top. Okay. And then I had to have my sour cream. The only thing I was missing was my crackers. It can go either way for me. I could take Ritz. I could take oyster crackers. Really, long as I got some crackers, I'm cool. But I do love oyster crackers, though. I'm not going to lie. I think I prefer that with my chili now. But this was the meal, And I paired it with some honey cornbread since I didn't have my crackers. But it was fire. I would have added the crackers even with the cornbread, though. So I'm not even going to hold you. But listen, I love a good comfort meal. I love it. It's getting chilly out there. It's getting chilly outside. So make you some chili, It's great. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you let me know. If you make it, drop it down in the comments. If you make it, let me know. Because it's delicious, okay? We getting into that seasoning. You got to get right with your fall recipes, okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe.